shoes.
Thank you. Hello everybody, welcome back to the soap shed. As you can see here, I'm continuing to work on framing Angela's closet, and she is trying to work around me fulfilling some orders that you guys have placed, assuming you watch and you placed an order, whatever. Fulfilling orders, packing up soaps to go out the door. There's a little bit of a balance act going on here, trying to maintain work abilities.
Yes.
But going okay. You were absent from the last video largely because you had a cold. I'm getting over a cold. It's a little TMI, but whatever, that's why. So what are your thoughts of the closet so far with what progress I did and things in general?
I like the placement of it, and I like that actually that there's going to be a barrier right next to the sink, so I'm not having to worry about getting products wet, because wet soap
is not good soap.
Not sellable soap.
Right.
So I like the placement of it, the size. I will be able to move around in here and still have lots of storage space, and I like where it's at.
Good, because I don't want to have to redo it.
It's staying.
So what I'm working on today is finishing framing this left side of the closet wall. I was getting some measurements of 2 vertical upright studs. I have scrap paneling from my workshop that we're going to be attaching to this side, and probably have enough to do the top as well. We're trying to do this as a don't spend much more money type thing, and also use up a lot of the scrap wood in my workshop just to keep costs low and get this project knocked out quick, because we have that property in Tennessee that is begging for every penny we own, so we'd rather throw pennies that way and repurpose things here if we can.
Well, we do that anyhow.
We do, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut some wood. I'll let you pack up some soap, and then we'll bring you guys back when I've cut the wood and she's packed the soap, I guess.
While we're in here, I'm going to take a second and talk about soap a little bit, as we are getting into the holidays, the season changes, and that sort of thing. A lot of you have seen that we do have some autumn, fall, Thanksgiving type scents. We do have a pumpkin spice, a spiced clove, and then our apple cinnamon and our orange spice all are like wonderful for this time of year. We also, at the beginning of November, are going to be having 3 winter scents. There is going to be a new one called Sleigh Ride. There is one called Frankincense and Myrrh. And then there is one that is Fir Needle, which is Christmas tree. It just smells like a Christmas tree. So we will have the others kind of like peppermint and that type thing. But these are some new ones that are seasonal and you can only get this time of year.
What I'm doing here is compromising. For anyone who doesn't know me in person or don't know me well enough through these videos, I'm a little bit picky about being OCD and perfectionist on some things, but as life tends to happen for me, I can never really achieve that level that I want. So this is one of those examples. Whenever I did this main framing of the wall, I did not plan ahead far enough and realize that the wall sticking out this far is great and all, except the sink has a little bit of an overhang. For this back wall to be perfectly 90 degrees, we would have to redo this sink, or I would have to reframe this wall. So, in the sense of wabi-sabi, I am going to kick this back little short wall in a little bit, so it's not going to be a perfect 90-degree angle here, to give us enough room to put the framing and the paneling in between here and the sink, and just everything work as good as it can. So, I'm sorry, hon, you don't have a perfectly square wall. But then again, I've been in this workshop a lot, so there's whatever. Anyway, so what I've just done is make a mark here on the ceiling, which is the reference point for this stud. There is not a roof rafter or joist above this paneling for me to attach this to very well. So what is going to hold this into place is basically a couple of screws, tack it into the wood paneling that this shed was finished with, and then it's going to be attached well on the bottom. That should be okay because this isn't going to be load bearing. It's just going to be basically a place to attach the paneling, and as more of the paneling pieces get put onto this stud, it'll kind of hold everything together and lock it down tight. If I have enough wood, and I say if because we're running pretty low on 2x3s, I will come in here and add horizontal blocking to tie this in even more. If not, it's still going to be fine because there's not going to really be anything put on this wall. Angela's squashed my ideas for cool Pinteresty organizations and everything because, well, I framed the wall too close to the sink for anything to work. So it's just going to be a facade and a vapor barrier of sense. So that's what this board is. And then this little shorty over here is a stud that's going to go just against the wall to act as another place to attach the paneling. This is going to be difficult to do.
That was a long one.
Was it that bad? Don't answer that.
Can't see that little dot.
It's a
That's
bubble.
too far. There's a head. That's good.
This is another one of those situations where I really wish a tool manufacturer would make a magnetic T25 Torx bit. I've never found a magnetic Torx bit. Somebody does it, I'll buy all of them. You can find plenty of magnetic Phillips bits, but not Torx. Why is that? So there's a look at how we're going to be paneling this thing. I have a scrap piece, laid it in spot, just grabbed my mark on this board right where this edge comes to. I can take it out, cut it with a circular saw, and get a pretty good fit. We're going to have a total of 4 pieces on this, so a little hodgepodge, but again, we're repurposing and not spending money for this, which is good because this stuff is, well, not cheap.
Sam, why'd you leave dirty dishes in the sink?
I'm just messy when I make soap, I guess.
If you flip it over, will the bottom meet up better? Oh, okay.
Is that better or worse?
Worse.
Okay. I'm dealing with 2 edges that I've cut in the past, so there's no telling.
That's what silicone's for.
So is this better or worse than the other one?
That's better, I think. I don't think it's as large.
Alright, that's the keeper side.
Yeah.
Alright. Hi ho, hi ho, it's off to the saw I go. Do you remember which one of these tops and bottom?
No.
I do, I wrote it.
Well, alright, you want a cookie?
Yeah, but I mean, that goes without saying, right? Look at me.
What kind of cookie?
Macadamia, thank you.
I would like chocolate chip.
That sounds good too, but macadamia is my style. Alright, let's go ahead and start nailing this thing. We are going to be using our favorite, our only, cordless brad nailer for this project. That's right, the old Craftsman is still rocking and rolling, going great. This is the nail gun that we put this whole shed together with. Okay, with paneling, trim-wise. I've used it a ton, still going great. We use it in the house, and we're going to use it here as well. The only problem is I think we're down to like 10 brads, and I'm out. So, I'm going to very sparingly apply. Sparingly apply with sparseness the brads to hold the panels up just good enough for now. When we go to the store, come back, we'll lock and load nails and really lay it to it. See, this is where cracks in your paneling comes in to be very advantageous, because I can see where the stud is. It's all by design.
So Sam's a little bit perturbed because it looks like we're going to have to change directions on which way the paneling goes.
The grain, the orientation of the grain.
I tried to tell him that I really don't care. Because I come in here to work and I'm never going to really notice it. So.
No. Hey, whoa, please. This is what Angela said. Do this. It looks fine. I don't care. Pink.
Like I said, I'm going to come in here to work. And I'm not going to pay any attention to that. So.
Nope. No. Can't do that, honey.
So this is what goes on behind the scenes. Just so you know.
Every couple or groups or whoever that does projects together, no. This is the kind of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Absolutely. You got one person that's being way too picky, but can't help it. The other person says, just get the job done. Why are you taking so long? And, you know, conversation takes place.
But it is my workshop, and it doesn't bother me. I'm going to be working. I'm not going to be looking at the grain of the panel.
Alright, so here's Sam's little, not a pro tip on how to measure and cut a... Is that trapezoidal? No, it's still a quadrilateral.
Quadrilateral.
I mean, it's a four-sided object. So the way I measure for this piece... Over here to the left, I get my height up from the top of this board. And over here to the right, get my height up as well. And then I just put marks on my board, and then I'll use a straight edge to connect the lines. Something unique with this, and camera lady might need to scoot over to see this. The crown molding of the workshop messes with what would normally be my intersection here, and I don't know that. So I came out a known distance, which is the thickness of this board, which is 1.5 inches. I measured up from here to the ceiling, got that distance, and that's the mark I put on this board. So what I'm going to be drawing is the ceiling angle, and when I bring it back up in here, then I'll have to cut the trim out. So hopefully that makes sense. Otherwise, the angle would be off and there would be a gap from one side to the other as it goes up the roof pitch. Alright, that's theories. Let's see how it plays out. The roof paneling sags a little bit, so what I did is hold this up equal distance on both sides and use my pencil as a scribe or reference mark against the roof, and I've got an outline of the sag going on. So now I'm going to cut it out with the oscillating tool. Hopefully that works out good. This looks like this cut here sags. I can always put a straight edge on this and make sure that's straight. But we'll go ahead and mark this edge, and I'll do both at the same time. Is that good enough then?
Yeah.
Okay. Good enough for state work.
What was that?
Well, we're chuckling because I turned to talk to the camera and Angel's like, I'm done. She's always doing that. Overall, that's not too bad. There's a lot of back and forth in this top piece, and it's still not perfect, but it's fine. It's the way things go. especially when doing scrap and all that. But hey, at least there is a pretty solid wall here. A little bit of cleanup work, whatever, but looks good. Now we can go on to do the front. Alright, I'm going to intentionally leave a gap over here at the far right for there to be some air inlet into this closet, because we're going to be adding an exhaust fan. And we're out of nails. We got our last paneling piece cut and it goes up there, but we're out of brads. So we're going to change gears while we're still here and go ahead and install our doors. The doors we chose are called, I call them accordion doors. I think they're also called folding doors. These little guys. The cool thing about these is they are very small when open. Like, this is the thickness of the door. It'll be on the frame here. The other cool thing is they're cheap, they're lightweight, and we were able to get 2 of them to give us a 6-foot wide opening here. Installation of these doors is pretty straightforward. You install the track on your opening, then you install the handle on the door, the top little pin slide guides on the doors, slide it into the track, and attach it to the wall. These are not mega durable doors, so we would probably never trust them in a closet with our 2 feral children, but in this kind of application, in this environment, I think it's going to do well. So let's get started and put these things up. Next up is to put the handles on the door and go ahead and attach the door to this side frame. Sorry, I put it upside down. Interesting, these handles just kind of go on, kind of press fit, with a little spring pin in between them. Kind of friction fit, but hey, that works. Ta-da. I took it off the track. If we only had a 36-inch wide opening, we would be done. We put the magnetic latch on the other side of our frame and call it good. However, we're putting 2 doors up, so we're going to go ahead and get the other one out, assemble it, slide it into this track. Then we'll install the rest of the track and it'll be all locked up in there and we'll attach it that way. At that point, we'll be done with the doors.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. Meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell.
We have both of the doors hooked up, and I wanted to switch where the curing rack was with where my products are, final product. So we're gonna go ahead and do that since he had to pull out the curing rack to get the door connected anyway. So it'll look better that way, and it'll be easier to access for me.
Plus, we can leave the microwave where it's at, and there's room for you to get this entire bun rack, curing rack in and out as you want to. Which is really cool, having this versatility.
Yeah, to the right as far as it'll go. Okay. You can see you.
I can see me. Yeah.
I would say they work. Now is the time for us to go to the hardware store to get some more brad nails, stuff for the vent, that type thing. So, see you in a bit.
Hey, wait. Close it back. Close it back.
I'm not used to this. We are back and loaded up with nails, so let's get this last piece up and finish this project.
No, not pink side.
Why not?
You're killing me.
Is it that crooked?
Flip it over top to bottom again. I scribed it according to the ceiling.
And that one held. Awesome. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, how does it feel?
That's nice. It's
How
a
does
nice
it look?
addition. I think it looks nice too.
I want to paint it. It's kind of bugging me that it's not white.
Well, if you want to paint it, go ahead. It's not bothering me at all like it is.
I like the doors. I think the doors turned out great. There's plenty of room to still move everything around. Like we got to show earlier, we can actually bring your curing rack out, which is nice because it's on wheels. So there's plenty of room for that. And a couple of people had mentioned in the other video that we should do like a built-in shelving. I think it's a really good idea. I don't know if it's really close on our radar or not, but I think it's a good idea because I see, or I hope, that you'll be able to ramp up your stock production. And there's a lot of people out there who probably would also like for you to do that. And I know you want to, what am I saying? Yeah, the shelf in the future would be good. And there's just a couple other hurdles as far as logistics and time management, and I don't know, we just got to figure out how we can ramp it up better while still doing everything else we're doing.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It's a lot. So while that's it for this video, I want to give you a little sneak peek of what's coming up next.
That thing's huge.
That's right. We are going to be putting in a vent or a fan. Several of you commented in our first video where I framed this thing out that we should stick a fan in there to exhaust all the fumes out. That was smart thinking. That's where we were thinking, but I guess I cut myself out of that jabber point. Yeah, anyway. So yes, we're going to be doing a fan. The actual exhaust fan will arrive tomorrow. So when it gets here and we do the work, we'll film that and show you guys. We're going to be creating a negative air pressure environment. And I will have a geek out session telling you what a positive or negative air pressure environment is all about. And we'll have fun then. Hopefully somebody out there will appreciate it.
Not me. I'll appreciate the not smelling really strong in here. Well guys, thanks for coming along. Leave us a comment below. We'd love to read them. And otherwise, we'll see you guys next time on one of the homesteads.
Or the soap shed. See ya.
Bye.